Hey y'all, it's Alicia and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoblob. If you're new here, this is a fantastic day to be on this channel. And to my returning folks, oh, this is all about you. Seriously, it's all about you. Sundays are my favorite days. They're my planning days. They're my organizing day. It's like the day where I figure out how I'm going to get the most out of my week. But not this morning, folks. Nope. My husband and I were sitting having coffee and my phone was just blowing up. And I couldn't understand it. It was like every 2 seconds it was blowing up. And finally I was like, I hope there isn't an emergency. So I checked it because there could be an emergency. And sure enough, I have a bajillion messages that we won. So first of all, I want to thank Miss Haven for organizing this and being the spokesperson for YouTube and doing all of the hard analytics and doing all of the recording, because it's not an easy job to do this. So thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for all of your effort and hard work. We all appreciate it. And just thank you. And thank you to everybody. I am stunned. I've tried filming this video twice, but y'all know this is new technology and I'm a gesturer. So I got all emotional and excited in my two videos and froze them both and ruined them. So I'm going to try to sit on my hands for this round and try to do this in a way where I don't freeze the video. And I'm going to do my best. My husband's laughing because he's like, good luck. First of all, I want to say that this is a shared award. This channel has become what it is because we have an incredible crafty family. We have folks that have been here from the very first day I put up a video. I'm going to tell you that. Tree Craft On, Monty the Polka Dot Pinecone, Rhonda Coleman, Betty Waldeck, Amber Rosenbaum, Lauren Cunningham, Lily, Crafting with Liller. Oh my goodness, there's so many. It's actually shocking. Alicia Love Letter Generation. She has been here from the start, folks. And what's really insane about that is that when I first started, Alicia had like over 1,000 subscribers. I think now she has over 2. But she was part of the cool kids club. They were doing all the super cool holographic, like amazing all heart kind of projects. And she was kind of one of those people like Shara Crane and Tony Craftpurge. Hey, Tony, congrats, girly. I'm going to get to you in a minute. But she was part of this kind of cool club where they were doing these super hip, funky, inspired projects. And yet she found the time to come and support this brand new channel. And I loved everything she made. I love her aesthetic so very much. But I was like really stunned. I was like, what is this kind of big shot doing landing on this channel? Well, today Alicia's my friend. She's not just a subscriber. And look, when I say just a subscriber, I spend more time with you folks than I spend with a lot of people. So it's not just. But Alicia, and my husband's saying, more than you spend with me some days. But Alicia and I have actually become friends. But at that time, I was kind of like, wow, how, she is an expert level crafter. And it's funny because she tells us she often makes things without fancy tools because they're so expensive in Australia or just not available. And yet her work is impeccable. So I was like, what is this cool kid doing on this channel? Well, today I know Alicia very well. And the one thing about Alicia is that she has zero ego. And so Alicia came on. She just found the community comfortable. And so she became part of it. And she has been part of our crafty family pretty much from the start. And I have to tell you, I feel very blessed for that because it's because of Alicia that we have also embraced like Alice, absolutely Alice, who I think is one of our most incredibly creative makers and so talented. We also found our way to Tennille Paper Milkshake because of Alicia. And again, Tennille makes these super cool projects that I'm always inspired by. And remember, folks, she made that great video about like her crafty tools that I loved. And Soleil, Enchanted by Craft, who I feel is such a blessing. I feel she's a blessing to us creatively, but I also feel that her spirit is a blessing. And I feel so fortunate to be developing like a budding friendship with Soleil. And all of that was a gift from Alicia. Because, that was her posse. And they slowly migrated over to our community because of Alicia. So we didn't just get blessed with Alicia's encouragement or her happy mail or her amazing projects or her tutorials. we got blessed because she also brought an incredible group of makers with her into our crafty family. So I want to say thank you for that. Miss Bertha Blessed Wilson and Margaret Clevenger, I have told you too, as much as I can, and I hope it's enough, that your support daily has made the most significant difference in the lives of new crafters and new to YouTube crafters. What you contribute to our world is love. Love, encouragement, and positivity. You know, guys, you can't monetize that kind of love. You just can't. It's like going to sound cheesy, like one of those terrible MasterCard commercials, but the truth is that's priceless. That's worth more than 1,000 paper pads ever will be worth. And yet the two of you are on here every day lending love and support to people, sending prayers when they're needed, and they are needed, folks. You know, we've learned over the last year and a half, we do a lot of talking here about process, a lot about prototyping, a lot about glues that work and don't work. But we also have to do sometimes a lot of well-wishing and praying. You know, Miss Judy had one heck of a rough day today, my scrapbook loft. And I watched that video and my heart kind of broken too. And I'll tell you why. I think all of us understood it. We all understood it. And we all wanted to just reach out and hug you through the screen. And we all know that a text message isn't quite as good as a hug. But there are days like today when we rally around our people and we tell them, we hear you and we love you and we're here for you. That matters. All of that matters. And Bertha and Margaret, you've been doing that from day one. What about Monty, the polka dot pine cone? You know, Monty's been crafting for over 30 years. She's an expert maker. She used to teach crafting. Oh, yes. And she has been on here from day one, folks. From day one. In fact, she won my first flat mail challenge. She did. She'd never done a flat mailer before. And what she sent in was so gorgeous. Oh, my goodness. It blew me away. And ever since then, I've since learned that, like, Monty's like this expert maker. What made her join a new channel? What made her give someone a chance that was just starting out? Generosity of spirit. That's what. And Monty has blessed so many of us on here with her entries and her happy meal. She's been doing it, folks, since the start of this channel and has never stopped. Never stopped. And Rhonda Coleman. You know, believe me, you and Rosita Brown really amaze me. Because I know you two are way more geared towards vintage and shabby making. And on here, it really is a hoplop. Because I love shabby, I love vintage, I love Maggie Holmes, I love Graphic 45, I love Minte. There are channels way more suited to your way of making. And yet you both have continued to support this channel and everybody on it. And you've remained a member of our crafty family. And I think that's amazing. I take my hat off to Rosita Brown and Rhonda Coleman for doing that. Thank you. Thank you for being such a never-ending source of support on here. And I hope you feel appreciated. I hope you do each and every day. And what about Betty Waldeck, who is always my first entry to every single entry and every single challenge? She's always the first to get it in. And haven't we seen her just blow up as a maker? I mean, she started with Gorgeous Girls. Now Betty's making books, and beautiful books. And isn't that inspiring? It's been so amazing for me, Betty, to watch how you have grown as a maker since you and I first met a year and a half ago. I mean, it's epic. Your growth is just epic. And what about Chris Wilson and how thoughtful she is and how she always supports everybody's challenges and does her very best to fill in whatever she feels the person is lacking. For me in the Holy Land, it was die cuts, and she just die cut the heck out of paper and sent me like this big old package to try to get me through that rough spot. She's an incredible supporter. She may not come on here every day and comment. She may not be making videos, folks, but she's there each and every day, buoying and supporting each person on here. And I for one, am super, super grateful to you for all of that support. What about people like Crafty Kimchi and Tony Craftpurge? Okay, so these are our incredibly beautiful makers, right? And Ara the Paper Treasury. I'm sorry, we're going to have to put you three. You guys are in the same category as a Lily. You are super talented, expert makers with huge followings. How the heck did you get into this crafty family, and why did you stay? Well, because you're real people. That's why. And I always say, this is a community of real people doing real crafts and sharing real-time tips. It's just that simple. And you found your place here, and we were all astounded. Because, you know, you're kind of the queens of innovation. And yet you have become part of our community, all because you just wanted to be supportive and helpful and generous. That is astounding. It's astounding and it's inspiring. And what about Lily, the lady who paved the way for me to find my way through YouTube? This channel wouldn't exist without Crafting with Lila. It just wouldn't. If she had made a place for me, then there would be no Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. Not at all. What about Miss Jellybean Junction and Heather's Handmade Haven? I feel like those two should be my art directors. I'm telling you, they're the people on here that like save my lighting. They teach me how to build thumbnails. They cover for me when my mom is sick and I can't get a channel list out. This channel wouldn't exist without those two. I'm just going to tell you that. It's funny. For someone who used to be a creative director, I struggle with certain things. And Jellybean and Heather are there each and every day to make sure that I find my way out of it. You know, those were the first two that texted me today to be like, you won, you know. And they were so happy. They were so happy. And I'm like, no, we won. There would be no Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. First of all, there legit would be no Alicia's Crafty Hoplop because Jellybean named the channel. And if it weren't for Jellybean and Heather, you wouldn't even be able to see me right now. So a great deal of thanks goes to them. A huge deal of thanks goes to them. But I also want to thank people like P. Very important. People like P and Gina and again Judy and Tony, because she talked about her pregnancy-induced autoimmune diabetes, and Donna Dreams times 3 for being so upfront about living with autoimmune disease. I cannot believe that through this channel we have learned how many of us in our community are living with autoimmune in one form or another. And you have bravely stepped up and shared it. Soleil, Enchanted by Craft, you too. I think you are my band of warriors, along with Miss Pat, who I'm going to get to, but towards the end of the video because it makes me a bit emotional. You're helping me raise awareness of autoimmune, which is a silent illness usually. You're helping me remove stigma, one little tiny bit at a time. And you're raising awareness internationally about what it's like to live with autoimmune. And I can't thank you enough for that. I just can't thank you enough for that. I also want to thank Jellybean and Kayla and others who are living with chronic health issues for bravely stepping up and sharing that with everyone. Again, through our stories, we're going to help raise awareness and increase the capacity of understanding around the world. And those sorts of differences aren't just differences here on YouTube. They're differences that can be felt in little tiny ripples around the world. And if we do that, wow, that's actually making a significant change in this world. A really significant change in this world. I have loads of people to thank. Scrap Diva 29, Tamika, Scrap the World. I'm always amazed when I see your comments. I'm always amazed when you support, cheer, or avoid the people on this channel, myself included. I don't know how you find the time to do that. We're talking about 2 influencers on YouTube with over 50,000 people watching them daily. And you find time to come in here and leave a nice message or to say, hey, Alicia, I really like that. And here's what I haven't said. Tamika's a rather private person. But over the last few months, Tamika was really helpful. Really helpful. And I want to thank you, Tamika. I don't know how you found the time. I don't know how you did. And I don't know why you found the generosity of spirit. But what I am going to say is that I'm very grateful to you, not just today, but always, for what you did and for your support. So thank you. When we have people that have over 60,000 subscribers popping in here and leaving their feedback, that says a lot about those 2 ladies. Right? I don't know how Erica has time to do stuff. Here she is. She's I've said this 1,000 times. She really is our Martha Stewart of today. We need a replacement. We need a modern day replacement. In my perfect world, it would be a combined team. I've said this many times. It would be Erica. It would be Tamika. It would be Lily. How about Miss Ida? Oh, that would just be like the dream team of all dream teams. But I think Erica, Scrap Diva 29, is as close as we've got right now to our version of a Martha Stewart. And I hope, if only the decision makers watch these videos, they would better understand what speaks to us. But thank you, ladies, for taking the time. Miss Ida has taken time to comment. Tamika certainly has helped us out more than once and has been supportive. And so many people in our community have been doing her swaps. Thank you for generously including everybody, Tamika. We so appreciate you. And Erica, don't think I don't notice when you comment. I do. I try not to make a big deal out of it, but it's really appreciated. Oh, folks, we are blessed. My friend Kathy has been here from the very start. Kathy Cats I'll Create. I fell in love with her channel because Kathy's just real people. And she was one of the only channels that actually made projects for people who didn't have die cutters. And I thought that told me so much about Kathy. Now, almost 2 years later, and we're friends, and I'm telling you, those initial assumptions I made about Kathy's character, they're all correct. Kathy's great people. She's not good people, folks. She's great people. And my friend Cruz, there's very little I can say to you that you don't already know. Cruz has a heart bigger than the size of North America. And she is not only a very good friend to me, but an amazing member of this crafting community. And we are so very blessed to have her. And you know what? She's also a super innovative maker. And we're going to get to that group in a minute. But Cruz is definitely one of those in our community that helps us look at materiality in a whole new light. Because, Cruz is not limited by standard craft products. Oh no. She finds a cereal box as exciting as a Maggie Holmes paper pad, and I'm not joking. What about Susan Tootsie Tucker, Misty, Carrie Martin? What about those three? They're three of my favorite folks, and I'll tell you why. I look to them each and every day for innovation. There is nothing that Susan Tootsie Tucker cannot imagine. I actually have a plan for my special rack to her. I don't want to give it away, but I have a plan because she is so innovative. She can take something furry and kind of hideous from the Dollar Tree and turn it into magic. And Misty C, guys, she's a super busy lady, so she doesn't make as many videos, but I'm going to tell y'all something. She is the sole reason all of us are learning to make better flowers. And she has incredible talents. Like Jelly Bean, I really think that maybe Misty C has a natural gift. And thanks to her and Carrie Martin and Susan Tootsie Tucker, we're all going to be better at not just making realistic looking flowers. We're going to better understand paper as a material. And we're going to learn how to manipulate it better. And Miss Carrie Martin, who's a new grandma and super busy and doesn't always have time to make videos, let me tell you something. I just got an envelope from her. And in there are these spiral die cuts to learn how to make folded flowers. Because I'm terrified. My fingers don't work that well. And I'm like, Carrie, I don't know if I can make roses like that. She's like, yes, you can. I'm gonna die cut you out some and you're gonna give it a shot. These three women are secretly and not so secretly helping so many of us become better makers. And we are really fortunate to have them. Which takes me to this Mama Loves Disney. Dina has been, for me, an incredible source of support. But I'm going to tell you something. Over the winter break when we had that thing happen, and I was just heartbroken. And I was crestfallen. The phone rings, and it's Dina. And Dina knows I don't like the phone, and I don't think Dina likes the phone either. But there she was on the line, spending 45 minutes helping me find my way back to myself. This Mama Loves Disney is a special person. She's a special person with a special heart. And those of us that have gotten to know her better over the past year and a half know our community is a much more beautiful and loving place because of her. Folks, I have so many people on here that I could thank. I was like, should I make a list? How am I going to do this? I'm going to forget. And I'm sure I forgot to mention 50 people. And if I did, please don't be offended. I'm speaking from the heart. And that doesn't mean you're not part of my heart. It just means that I have a lot to say. My husband's like, you got to keep it under 25 minutes. And he's right, because you don't need to be listening to this all day. But I guess what I'm saying is, this channel didn't get built by Alicia. This channel got built with a community of caring, loving people. People that make room for new crafters. People that are here to embrace, buoy, and support. People that care about making and want all of us to become better makers. And Heather a long time ago said this. Where would we be without each other? I mean, we're obsessed with things like making and paper and materiality. But the other people in our lives, Not so much. If we didn't have each other to share this with, it'd be a much lonelier place. You know, y'all know this winter, I have limited time outside. And I told you I'm saving Pat for last because it's hard. So yesterday I wanted to go to an outing in the evening. I really wanted to go to a book signing. It's a book signing done by an artist in the East Village, an artist that I care very much about the work of, an artist I know and my husband knows, and my husband was going, and it was going to be a really fun outing. And I got halfway to the subway and had a small meltdown. And that's just because I couldn't go. It was too cold, I had a vascular attack, and it suddenly occurred to me the cost of being here. And I just didn't know what I was going to do about it. And thankfully, I have a support network here. Because I didn't want to call my husband, who was already there, and be like, okay, I'm having a meltdown. And I just suddenly realized that I'm going to be landlocked here because of my stupid illness. I have to tell you, folks, I don't usually have that kind of meltdown. I've had this disease for 10 years. In 10 years, my husband can tell you I haven't had one meltdown. Yesterday was my first. It's the first time I realized that coming back here in the winter would mean that I was going to have to give up a whole lot that I wasn't used to giving up. And you know me, I'm super productive. So that was a very difficult realization for me. But there was Pat Sweeney, who for me is an example of what living with chronic illness can be. And Pat may have only 3 spoons in a day, but she knows how to use them. And she knows how to use them wisely. And so there was Pat saying, okay, girlie, do I need to yell at you? Let's just say that, you know, there were days when Pat's honesty about living with MS and Pat's methodology for living with MS keeps me from feeling super frustrated. And I wouldn't have had that relationship with Pat if not for this channel. And I think she's a fine example of what it means to live your best life while also living with something challenging. And I'm super grateful. I'm grateful for her friendship. I'm grateful for her strength. And I'm really grateful for her compassion. Do you know what her first text to me was today? Not about the channel, not about the win. It was about Miss Judy, my scrapbook loft. Pat's first concern this morning was, how do we best support Judy? I'm not kidding, because that's who Pat is. Pat, we are very blessed to know you. And those of us who have gotten to know you better, our lives are better for it. Thank you. To my friend Judy, who I've already texted, I understand more of that story than I'll ever share here in this video because my husband's right. We got to keep this down to 25 minutes. But know this. Each of us felt blessed to hear your story. Even if it was upsetting, even if it's aggravating, we're blessed because you trusted us enough to share it. So know this. We are here for you. We believe in you. We believe in your character. It's very clear what your character is. It's so clear. In fact, like it just made me laugh when you told part of your story because I'm like, really? I don't think anyone could be more transparent than you are. Your character is so clear. Your caring is so clear. And everything you do for everyone on this channel is clear. And for the entire crafting community. And we just want to say thank you. And we want you to know this is your crafty home. It's always going to be your home. All right, y'all. That is the end of a very long video. A very special thank you to each and every one of you. It's because of you that we won, folks. This is a shared win. And I'm glad that we were able to build a family together that helps each of us each and every day. I'm going to be back on later today. I've got some glue test results and some project shares. But until then, wishing you a happy Sunday. I hope you're doing something productive and creative. If not, I hope you're doing something energizing or something fun with family. And I'll see y'all later. Bye for now.